hearing item, and this is REZ-2025-01, the Hurtado property on Bethany Drive, 6.4 acres. It is currently RA. The request is for R1, and it will have county water and septic. Mr. Dillon.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good morning, Commissioners. Bear with us for just a moment. Here we go. Maybe. Can you see it on your screens? Okay. Yes, this is a request by Mr. Hurtado to rezone approximately 6.4 acres from its current RA, which you see here, to R1 low density residential in order to develop conforming lots. Property, as you see, has access primarily on Bethany Drive and Valdell Road. Future land use here depicts it as a rural residential character area. It's also in the rural residential service area, though county water is available along Valdell Road. This indicates that R1 is an applicable zoning for this based on a comprehensive plan land use. And there are no wetlands on the property to speak of other than man-made pond there that you can note. This is a picture of the area, kind of describing that rural residential feel. You'll notice to the north along Bethany Road and McMillan there, much more agricultural use of the property, while most of the residential in this area is closer toward the southern intersection of Bethany Drive and Valdell Road. And again, here's just a close-up more so of that low-density residential field as you drive around this particular intersection. So you'll note some of the lot sizes differing in this particular area compared to the others. Again, 6.4 acres is what's drawn there in blue. Proposal to rezone it to R1, minimum 1 acre lot. In your package, you have a letter from the Allen family. They mentioned that property to the north of them, this is on Bethany Road near Bethany Drive on the western hand side. Bethany Baptist Church is there on the far left. The Allens live just below Tract 1. They talk about development strategy here of selling 2.5 acre lots. This is in line with the character area and again avoiding a rezoning compared to Mr. Hurtado, who's requesting R1 zoning. The comprehensive plan does talk about protecting rural farmland as well as allowing low density residential with cluster. So with that being said, you can see the staff report indicates that the planning commission meeting, most of it was talking about drainage. You'll notice that property to the far left there with the orchard. The Williams family got up and spoke about concerns for drainage. Spoke with engineering staff about this, and we believe that it needs to be a natural cause for property farther to the south, not necessarily a county drainage issue, but that was brought up. So with that being said, the planning commission did ultimately recommend denial 8-1.
Any questions for Mr. Dillon?
Yes, sir. So, Mr. Dillon, several of us were there at the planning commission meeting. To your point, I think the opposition only seemed to come from, mostly, not only from, but mostly from the Williams family and that drainage issue that you spoke of. I asked the question that night among the people that I was sitting with, if we had any evidence of water coming across Bethany Road affecting the Williams property. Because it would seem to me that and we know that there's something going on with the Williams there, but it would make sense to me that if this property were shedding water across Bethany Road to the Williams property, then yes. But I don't see where the two have any interaction. So my question is, if engineering could answer this question or let us know something before tomorrow night, there's no evidence of water crossing that road or that road flooding and that creating more drainage issues across the road are not going to affect it.
No, sir. We went back and checked the history with Public Works, and we've had no effects on the road whatsoever on Bethany. We've been out there several times with Mr. Williams. The ditch seems to work fine. The problem we get into drainage-wise that they have is between Bethany and Dodd on private property. There's some pretty huge beaver dams in there, but it doesn't seem to be affecting that ditch or the road.
Okay.
Where is the water coming from on the Williams property, which is causing the problem? We've seen those people in here 2 or 3 times complaining about the water backing up on their property or entering their property or something. Where's it coming from?
So water enters that ditch beside their house from Bethany Road, but what backs up is the bay between Dodd and Bethany. There's a pretty huge beaver dam in there, actually a few of them. The our investigation found it doesn't seem to be affecting that ditch that we have at all.
Any other questions?
I just had a question in regards to them wanting R1. Have they somewhat indicated what type of layout they would like? I recall us doing almost 50 plus acres on a 10-acre lot, I guess, before, you know, and I guess that might be a concern being at that corner at Valdale and Bethany.
It's conceivable that 6.4 acres at R1 zoning, you could potentially have 6 lots. Under its current RA zoning, you could have about 2. Now, if Ms. Hurtado were to exercise the family right provision, she could essentially cut out a 2.5-acre parent parcel and then create 1-acre lots for her family members after that, which would avoid a rezoning and a public hearing. And you could potentially have 4 to 5 lots easily that met county standards. So, again, 6 is theoretically possible. What could be here that could meet all of our standards? In talking with Ms. Hurtado, I would imagine she's looking at probably four lots at 1.25 acre piece, potentially for that area, especially with preserving the right-of-way for Valdale Road and the future widening. And then again, meeting all the setback standards and lot width standards as defined within the ULDC.
And I guess that was one other question. We don't know how far out we are with the Valdale Road widening.
Do what now?
We don't know how far we're out on the Valdale Road widening project. Or do we?
Yes, sir, that is in the first band of T-Splosh 2, which is we start design in 2027 at this current time, so you'll be looking at 2029 on construction.
Okay, thanks.
So it will be served by county water, or water.
County water is currently available from Lucas Richardson to the south, all the way north to McMillan and Bethany Drive.
That's the extension we did last year, all the way up to Newman.
Gotcha. So there's water, there's no negative impact on the Williams property, and I can't see where 4 houses is gonna significantly increase traffic to the point that we need to speed up our road line.
Any other questions?
Do we anticipate any traffic control ever being established at Bethany itself in Valdale?
Now, the only thing, you of course, certainly have the stop sign there now, but the only other thing you could do would be some sort of lighting, but we'd have to do a traffic study of that to determine whether it justified a warrant study. And I don't see that, any kind of traffic at this point right now at that intersection.
I was just bringing it up because I am one that go across there, and it can be a challenge. Depends on which part of Bethany and getting across there and trying to see the other ones.
Well, probably the most challenging one is the one there sometimes with McMillan and Bethany on that end of it, which is north of this part, because they don't align. It's supposed to align ways to get that square away. Any other questions? All right, so we'll move on then to